Hi, I'm Mrs. Kaufman for room 124, and I'm here to read you chapters 61 through 63. You can navigate by the North Star, supposedly. Moss grows on the north side of trees, or so they say. If you are lost in the woods, you should stay where you are and someone will come find you. Maybe. Those were the things that Flora had learned about being lost from reading terrible things that can happen to you. Not that any of it was particularly relevant here. They weren't lost in the woods. They were lost in the universe, which, according to William Spiver, was expanding. How comforting. Ulysses, shouted Tootie. Ulysses, shouted Flora. It's pointless, said William Spiver. Flora was carrying Marianne, and William Spiver was holding on to Tootsie's shoulder. Flora hated to agree with William Spiver, but pointless seemed a little like an increasingly appropriate word. Her arms ached from carrying little shepherdess. Her feet hurt. Her heart hurt. Let's see, said Tootsie, peering into the darkness. That's Bucknell Road up there, so we're not truly lost. I wish I could see, said William Spiver in a sad voice. You can see, said Tootsie. Great Aunt Tootie, said William Spiver. I am a loaf, as always to point out the obvious, but I will do it here and now for the sake of clarity. You are not me. You do not exist behind my traumatized eyeballs. I'm telling the truth, my truth. I cannot see. There's nothing wrong with you, William, said Tootie. How many times do I have to tell you that? Why did she send me away then, said William Spiver. His voice shook. You know why she sent you away? I do? You can't push someone's truck into a lake, she said. It was a pond, said William. A very small pond. More of a sinkhole, actually. You cannot totally submerge someone's vehicle in a body of water, said Tootie, in a very loud voice, and expect that there aren't going to be severe consequences. I did it in a fit of anger, said William. I admitted almost immediately that it was a very unfortunate decision. Tootie shook her head. You pushed a truck into the lake, said Flora. How did you do that? I released the parking brake and put the truck in drive, and That's enough, said Tootie. We don't need a how-to into the truck lake lecture. Sinkhole, said William. It was really a sinkhole. Wow, said Flora. Why did you do it? I was exacting my revenge upon Tyrone, said William. My name is William Spiver, not Billy. I was one Billy one time too many, I cracked. I pushed Tyrone's truck into a sinkhole. And when my mother found out, she had rage. I looked upon her rage. And you know what happened then? I was blinded by disbelief and sorrow. He shook his head. I'm her son. But she made me leave. She sent me away. Even in the darkness, Flora could see the tears crawling out from underneath William's dark glasses. I wanted to be called William Spiver, he said. I wanted to go home. Flora felt her heart lurch inside of her. I want to go home. It was another one of William Spiver's sad, beautiful sentences. But will you return? I came looking for you. I want to go home. Flora realized that she wanted to go home too. She wanted things to be the way they were before she was banished. She put Marianne down on the ground. Give me your hand, she said. What? Said William. Give me your hand, said Flora again. My hand? Why? Flora reached out and grabbed William's hand and held on to her. It was as if he were drowning and she was standing on a solid ground. According to terrible things, drowning people was desperate, out of their minds with fear. In their panic, they could pull you, the rest of you, under, if you weren't careful. So Flora held on tightly to William, and he held on tightly back. It was just like her dream. She was holding William's hand, and he was holding hers. Well, if you two are going to walk around holding hands, said Tootie, I suppose I'll have to be the one who carries this monstrosity of a lamp. She picked up Marianne, and above, the stars were brilliant, shining brighter than Flora had ever seen them shine. I wish my father was here, said William. He wiped at the tears on his face with his free hand. An image of Flora's father, hands in his pockets, hat on his head, smiling and saying, Holy Bambunga, in a voice that Dolores rose up in Flora's mind. Her father, she loved him. She wanted to see his face. I know where we should go, said Flora. Chapter 62. And look, there's a cartoon to follow. So now we are on chapter 63. A squirrel flies in, said Dr. Meacham. Things I did not expect at all. It was what I loved about life. The things happened when I do not expect. When I was a girl and Blundermika, we left the window open for the very reason, even in the winter. We did it because we believed something wonderful might make its way to us through the open window. Did wonderful things find us? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But tonight it had happened, something wonderful. Dr. Meacham clapped her hands. A window has been left open. A squirrel flies in the window. The heart of an old woman rejoices. Ulysses' heart rejoiced, too. He wasn't lost anymore. Dr. Meacham would help him find Flora. Also, Dr. Meacham might make him a jelly sandwich. Imagine, said Dr. Meacham, imagine if we'd been sleeping, what I would have missed, but then always and forever. I have been an insomniac. You know what an insomnia is? Alicia shook her head. It means I do not sleep. When I was a girl and Blunder Meacham, I did not sleep. Who knows why? It could be some extraterrestrial terror rolling to the trolls, or it could be simply because I do not sleep. Sometimes there are no reasons. Often, most of the time, there is no reasons. The world cannot be explained, but I talk too much. I digress. I need to say you. Why are you here? In Florabella. Ulysses looked at Dr. Meacham. He made very big eyes. If only there was some way to tell her everything that had happened. Flora's mother saying the life would be easier without her. The universe expanding. William Spiver's banishment. Flora's homesickness. The writing of his poem. The typing of the untrue words. The stone squirrel, the stack, the woods, the shovel. The squirrel was overwhelmed by everything. There was too much to say and his inability to say it. He looked down at his front paws. He looked back at Dr. Meacham. Ah, she said, there is too much to say. You don't know where to begin. Ulysses nodded. Perhaps it would be good to bargain with a little snack. Ulysses nodded again. When the other Dr. Meacham was alive, I could sleep. Do you know what he would do for me? The man would put on his slippers, and he would go into the kitchen, and he would fix me sardines on crackers. You know sardines? Ulysses shook his head. Little fish in a can. He'd put those little fish on crackers for me, and then I would hear him coming back down the hallway, carrying the sardines and humming, returning to me. Dr. Meacham sighed. Such tenderness to have someone get out of bed and bring you little sardines and sit with you and eat them in the dark at night. To hum to you, this is love. Dr. Meacham wiped her eyes, smiled at Ulysses. So, she said, I will make for you what my beloved made for me, sardines and crackers. Does that seem like a good thing? Ulysses nodded. It seemed like a very good thing. We will eat because this is important to eat, and then, even though in the middle of the night, we will go and knock on the door of Mr. George Buckman, and he will open the door to us because of his big heart. And then George Buckman and I will figure out together why you are here and where our Florabella is. Ulysses nodded. Dr. Meacham went into the kitchen, and the squirrel sat on the windowsill and looked out into the dark world. Flora was out there somewhere. He would find her. She would find him. They would find each other. And then he would write her another poem. This one would be about little fishes and humming in the dark of night.